Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about our new moon partial solar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio for October 25th, 2025. And there is going to be a lot of energy. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a lot of energy because one of the things that I really want to talk to you about today, and I've done a couple of videos about this eclipse, but I want to tell you one of the things that's going to happen that people aren't really talking about. It's going to amp up your psychic abilities big time. For probably the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, they are wow out there. So it's kind of what Scorpio does, and because it's a new moon in the sign of Scorpio, and then we're adding that solar eclipse, it's just kind of like amplifying all of that amazing energy. It really is going to kind of get us to kind of initiate some of our psychic abilities. We're going to have like people like looking for support and healing, things that they've kind of like, I haven't talked about this in years, but I've seen ghosts, or I've heard this, or I haven't heard this, kind of just like coming out of the woodwork. And it's going to be more and more. So if you already have aware of what abilities you have, they're going to be on the rise. And it's not necessarily like be afraid of it. It's to know that it's coming. Kind of like, yeah, it's coming. Be ready for it. I will tell you that this will kind of bring an end to some people that have kind of been like holding down their abilities for a long period of time. They're not going to be able to do that as easily. A lot of times people are like, I turned that off a long time ago. Well, you didn't turn it off. You may have turned it down, but you didn't turn it off. So it's still there. It's still around. It's still coming to get you. So it's one of those, like, it's going to come up like all of a sudden, just like, boom, here I'm hearing voices. I'm feeling things that I normally hadn't been doing. So this is kind of just one of those awareness things, like be aware of your own psychic abilities during this time frame. And this is going to be kind of really amping up, like I said, a lot of people's psychic abilities. This is really tend to kind of make people kind of like be secretive, and not necessarily in a good or a bad way. It's just kind of like they don't know what their abilities are, and then all of a sudden their abilities are like amplifying up, and they're like, I don't know how to deal with this. So a lot of times they're going to push it down. Well, the problem is this eclipse, because an eclipse is all about pushing and like pushing energy together, it's going to amplify it. So a lot of people that would normally be able to kind of like, let's hide this back during a regular moon in Scorpio, not going to be able to do that this time. It's going to be amped up, and they're going to just be like, oh my goodness, here we go. So this is kind of a really interesting one. So one of the things I would say is kind of interesting to get ready, kind of getting ready prior to the date before October 25th. Get some salt tubs ready, get some energy sprays to kind of clear off the energy. Setting your house balanced perfectly is going to really help as well. I love doing quartz crystals all around, and I would do like literally the 8 sides of your house. Could be more, I guess. 2 by the front door, 1 on each side, halfway, the middle, to the corners, to the middles, to the corners, to the middles. So you've got everything balanced and aligned. If you have a room in your house that hasn't been cleared in a long time, this is a great time to get that cleared and balanced before this solar eclipse happens. So this is kind of the interesting part, is getting ready for it. The previous few days is going to be amazing. So getting ready for this energy, getting ready for amped up for this is going to be really key to all of this. Some of the salt tubs I would say are anything that is going to clear off energy. Kind of lavender, rose, Palo Santo, holy water, healing water. Any of those things are going to help kind of like clear all of that out. And I would say like your energy sprays, make sure you keep your energy sprays with you, because not only are you going to be affected, so many other people are going to be affected as well. So they're going to be amped up, and they're going to be feeling things that they normally don't feel. And so you might get a little attached to that energy, or it might get attached to you. And it's one of those, it's nice to know that you can kind of take control of it. I've got control of this. I can do this. It's going to make things a lot easier. So let's pull a couple of angel cards and get us some more insight into our new moon in solar eclipse. This one's popping up from the bottom of what I was just doing. This is called Midhaven, and this is about the pinnacle, and this is going to be very, very strong. And that what they're talking about is your psychic abilities and really amping up this energy in a very kind of interesting way for a lot of people. So this is going to be kind of like the height of it, the pinnacle, the height of this energy is coming through, and it's going to be amping up a lot of energy for a lot of people. So it's kind of like, get ready for this. Don't wait until it's too close. This one is all about the source. This is the sun and this is the source. And it's one of those, this is a great time to kind of get out in the sunlight, and maybe not necessarily during the eclipse. Anytime, even if it's not visible from where you're at, it still connects to the whole world. Energetically, it just kind of circles around the earth until everybody is affected. So that's kind of like an interesting kind of thing to kind of understand. Our next one is our 4th house, and this is all about home, and that's what I'm talking about. Is like, things are going to be changing even at home. Even if you're like, no, everything's steady and my partner and I are on a good page or anything like that, it's still going to be out of balance, and people are going to be set off by things that they normally wouldn't be set off. But make sure that you're ready with your psychic abilities to counteract this or to work on this. This one is dignified, and this is all about strength. You have to have the strength and the knowledge to work through this. So many times people are like, oh, it's not a big deal, until they're overwhelmed. And I've had a lot of overwhelmed people come in my office over the years and really just kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm just feeling it right now. And I'm like, I understand. It's because you thought you were able to push this down and like you have in the past, and it's not going to happen that same way. You have got to be ready for this. My next one is retrograde, and this is all about reviewing. Things that you thought you had left in the past are going to come up psychically. So things that you thought you got rid of, but you didn't cut all the cords to, is going to be coming up. Relationships that you thought you got rid of a long, long time ago, that boyfriend or girlfriend that you dated way back then, that energy is going to come up. Doesn't mean you're going to have to reconnect to it, but it's going to be coming up. And so you're going to have to work through it or deal with it or disconnect from it. That's kind of the interesting part of this. My last card is 8th house, and this is all about the mysteries. This is all about knowledge that we thought we had, or had control over, but we really didn't. So that's kind of the interesting part of this. And so many times people are like, oh yeah, I understand my psychic abilities. No, you don't. It's one of those, a lot of people think they have control of them, but they really don't. It's a mystery, and everybody's controls are completely different from everybody else's. So that's something to really keep in mind here, is that your abilities, your control is what you need to be concerned about. Not everybody else's, but understand that you have to be in control and you have to have that mystery ready to go. And that's all about prepping for this solar eclipse early and have all your stuff. I don't mean you need months and months worth. I just need, you need 2 or 3 or 4 salt tubs. You need some sprays to kind of help clear off some energy, balance your space, your home space, or where you work from is really important at this time, so that you can get in the right energy so you're ready to move forward when you're ready to move forward. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.